hand sanitizers, Veronica bucket, and a face mask near the across the country. Na nipa da senina to da bi so a refuse with me ban ho to da bi so na bu also between aye ni da ho. But the bad delegate and kasa I see ahene ne atu ahene for party in share the good kwan mu or the various registration centers no. As a by and large do na de adwuma. Na as a party yes we nya concerns kakra in this aftermath and some of the videos and media houses be show ya. Se go are no nya delegate, bro a supporter or no o twam esanse ni nipa na contest ntine o wiye na ni nipa ni wini yes so no. Ho osebo any jubilation no. If you want to call overboard. But Chairman, we want to also make it clear. Say, enyadia yenye be show obi. Say adia woto mra in the process. One fa aban hyehyɛ egu akwemu anya adwuma. It's not up to the political parties here because say say oyɛ member ntino. Woto aban mra ene hyehyɛ egu kwemu a yenya na fa ohudi. Nti we ask that bibia wato mra no bibia na nanim wo mu bibia ye hunu in that situation. One share mask one you say your delegate there, you provide them on bomb because they had the duty to perform there that day. On your delegate, now also swatches and now a supporter keke, and I don't want to when say you also so the man. But by and large, I think it was a very good weekend. The contest was also very healthy. Now we congratulate Omwa Yitimi Ishra or constituency Ishra on say Omonko Sanko Jina party na name ubiem. Now, Obiso so Uncle Yamano that day, that is not the end of the political life. We've seen people lose elections and come back strongly to win the next contest. An example is Bebre Woho. Inti wo say any panel, your dedication, what do, love, and ne wahoke ka, mrempo krana, wokoya anye yama. The MPP spirit, will reward such hard work. Maybe a you think it's said near Mano Nankoye, but Ochanano, who said this same party will reward you in an amazing way. Inti your best say, one more Mudin Kunim so no, they should celebrate in moderation. And when they die in Nimnisha, they should quickly get back to work. Now, big shoes are the exiting members of parliament in Ejana. And yet, time for high life. This is the time for you to prove, say, you're worth it. Say, delegates and constituents no e ka say ya so ye MP ahwe be pese so so no ehwe na wo nipa no sa election da wanimi ene how a obetimi ama party ni vote ene na nado danko akufu ado so vote e be kosoro no eno ho ye friend say eno ho komo ena in the next 4 years and delegates be san so agina so dia hwe wa ho keka ene wadwuma obae so no be ye. So we congratulate Omo winning na and to our gallant members of parliament almost to be beat back Kumienu and Senti and me any on weekend no. I am still confident they have a bigger role to even play in the party now, especially yes we are elections there. Me I know 40 minutes. I know what someone say mensa. Someone say he lost his primaries.
I know.
But this man never turned his back on the MPP. Na ho kekani odo ene onfre no crowd beba ene how consistently was a crime me lose primaries there but party ni there the one ni odo ewom and he's sitting there as a regional minister I buy ne region so my case on a holding hold the fort kremu for almost 4 years na ye woman inti I want people to also use him as an example to cheer up and encourage themselves and know say tomorrow might even be brighter than NNIO. Now, Chairman, my main for a so. And so no, and France kakra, enka. One most so movie ni no. You can send grant interviews. But I think interviews and so no adults on do. Now, all grant interviews, no, yeah. But communication is such a way that communication is irreversible. Nebefi wenu mabano fa enye you, Chairman, you can only apologize.
Yeah.
And we have sensitivities at play, emotions at play. This is the emo reconciliation. Afan ekodi we echi, afan ekodi we echi. Na ha ye kan ye ho abom. Inti se wo grant interview na was to be mindful. Say nkrofo a hwe any emotions I wo ma ye detail no. E ade betimi akan na asa bom in that constituency. Na ye wini ye just primaries. The bigger contest is when we are on the ballot paper against the umbrella and I said the NDC opponent. Intina yemfa odo no na candidate omo emerge no must reach out to almost so anko yamom because politics is a numbers game. No so dear kakra ni di na chi no wetime dia ba be camp. When your time as you who we and away nipa na winning away near die nim na so no in 2020 December no a far bigger and more important to us as a party. Saying prime minister Jaya Kwakoyabo. Nti none kakra meka on because interviews with journalists for there and then more media for chairman general, you're always looking out for headlines. And we should not be victims of headlines are M1 party no in a reconciliation effort. Nti enona medemano be si war prime minister.
Okay.
Na oma me ho kwan.
Na ochna. Yeah, I know numerous about.
Chairman NPP your constitution your map on no. We call the election of a presidential candidate of our party. Kind of clearly in Article 13 say obi ko akwa kujinasi ento aba emano as presidential candidate. Nipa no be go through processes so satisfy emu criteria ne ade, but much more importantly about in the voting of presidential primaries, Article 13(2), or say where there's only one contestant for the nomination as the party's presidential candidate, the National Congress shall acclaim his or her nomination as the party's presidential candidate. Near say nipa baako pe ne ebra ye bie nomination ye close ye vetting wie ene ho ne aka na wie na nipa baako pe ne gina as contempt kra. Party name no or say nipa no ya claim no at National Congress. National Congress so here your members number over 100,000. Say so na ma corona yare abey nipa 100,000 to me nkohia. International party no in consultation with National Council. National Council na the body a woman no mutimi sigina ye eba baby ayenye presidential primaries ebra ayenye no ene ekwan ayemfa so nye no. The National Council in its wisdom shares our circumstances now saying who say nipa baako so pet no go through the process. The sitting president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ti. And who be here say National Council ebe waive that provision. Kasi enkoye Congress. Na yen respect say protocols and they go nipa baako pay in any way and wafa through the process. Now National Council in its decision settle on Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as our presidential candidate. But Patapapio to credit manero into party nation the National Council of the NPP will once again no ebeshia na shiano so ombeshia no ye san acclaimu na ye outdoor the ticket of a presidential candidate and a running mate. Chairman General, National Council no a body it consists of 1 voting members of the National Executive Committee. Number 2, 20 members of parliament chosen by the party's parliamentary group. Number 3, regional representatives. Regional representatives, they are also known because they are doing meetings there. These are chairmen, secretaries, and reps are regions not to about AUM to represent them at National Council. D, past national chairpersons, and we in numbers. Past general secretaries, in numbers. Past presidents, past vice president, past presidential candidate, past running mate, president if you are in government, vice president if you are in government, presidential candidate and running mate. Chairman, we money in Kofa we must satisfy the condition any provision a war a year NPP mrapomu NPP mremu a year Article 10 of the NPP's constitution. Chairman, abani say ya you say esan say NPP osono no eye aboakese na ye ho do ene nipa edo yen na edo so nti ye engage media houses moamu nuanom ne moamu so say on be cover events no live across the world na Ghana for e wa manone ene omo Ghana NPP for swechita for our Ghana ne amanone they can join us internet so radio so TV so na almost so no timid empaibo any akomapa any odo atechi. You don't need to be at Alisa tomorrow. wearing your party colors. So bit and join us. Let's take a picture. Now, mommy, who say you are joining us live. I also show TV. So they take a picture. Then started this whole campaign as well. Me who baby I no take and who ya saw about. Ebani say people are tempted to play this game. Do you know me? I'm a big man. Do you know who I am near the Michelle? Ochnano Sani Mananya Juma. It cannot be said that the president of the land will be in attendance, the vice president will be in attendance. Emra, as a people, as a government, and health authorities, say and say many more than 100 issue about political gatherings. You be making sure say your numbers, and go beyond the stipulated number, and we are going to enforce it. Inti mpanifo adaroma ehun hia se obeba when you don't have a duty to perform there. And say wo baso so a ye ma obia no so accreditation for say ni pay your mobile. National Council members yebu numbers na emro 8690. Inti enim ye dodo na media houses so ye belem ti afa kakra bi say na bi omunua no so can pick the feed from them. Yeah, cut down your numbers. So we expect that the media houses will cooperate with the MPP's communications directorate. Senator will limit the numbers and yet we are respecting these protocols. Will be beer or baby so making sure say we cry with face mask. Or deba. Unibia, the party will also get you one at the entry point. In fact, only be pokranas is illegal. And I'll be doing also on a year hand sanitizers and ensuring the social distance. So
I see.
Once again, I want to repeat, Chairman. And your China and a seven predias and sebi in Penufuiti. Yeah, only Jumedi do ho by a sense of person. Beside the question, do you know who I am near Dintin Obeba? Your best your don't in your sitting a fee. Now, dear share near Kosunafa, Kumapani or door, and empire, but tie, Nanado. And NPP Amanuku Nechi. Na Ochanano, the session will be in such a way, say National Council no be share our denim. Now, my dream near man processes in now as far as national chairman is calling the council. And the council. Now, no calling you now motions, so we are go to now electoral commission, so do media so the ones they put the question and then get it done. And sana we allow the media to enter. Kwenye BBN open to the world. It's a political party, so some things are also kept your tradition where you keep it within indoors, go through the motions and satisfy Niamani Biguakwe. You know, media for the Bemwa, Namusma Boabos had the runes so am I.
Yo,
the chairman general, Medasi, Nampacho, any big man you know, Ampacho on categories in where not what friend catches on the on Shemo UTV. Oh, big man now for those. And I'm a person will be a better port to have a mouse on a you few the year. If you are now winning ferry into no man to me and Cassani and Jennifer. Why?
But I mean, answer Bekono, this one says, I wish to associate myself with Samir Uku and advise supporters of candidates who won the primaries to celebrate in moderation and be measured in the kind of comments we make. We need everyone for Victory 2020. Sasa and idea no buy. But ebi di biaba bebre, but main kind nina, but there may be sound say just two quick questions. In fact, one question, double barreled question. Inti subing ni Asante Achim North. In
fact, the National Executive Committee of the party.
Yeah.
National Executive Committee na a year body a daily with parliamentary primaries.
Okay.
And who date a home commodity into na ote vetting committee na this vetting committee approved by the NEC. And who appeals committee so reported to the NEC. The only thing a bro NEC so your presidential.
Okay.
And then on National Executive Committee be share na feni beji the various reports from the regions. Na a home commodity to the various regional parties and so Eddie Abetu as to what happened. The National Executive Committee, the Betun Senieni, they listen to the argument from the regions. Then na a home decisions so I be arrive, you know. Yeah, they are tomorrow so many. Tisane yedi ejuma.
Well, you be hearing me because Mekai say Okache say Munya court injunction against Asante Achim North. It is quite interesting, say, regardless of that one.
But there's also an interesting dimension.
Which is?
If the National Party is served, and we're served late, obviously. Now, if the regional party knows also cast on some reporter, it brings an interesting twist to it. Into that, I say, oh, they fancy no. but me a confidence say National Executive Committee did their various reports if you regions on their bar. This is a body made up of very distinguished people. Be a friend and former party and in pain. Mati. Just a phone call away.
Mati. National organizer of the NPP, Samuel Uku, and Amoten in Kano. In the meantime, something interesting has come out of the courts this morning. Mobekai Abdul Malik Kwekubako and Kennedy Japan Echo Court. Anopea verdict number. And then later, Yene Kwesi Pratt Jr., Simon Osei Mensah, and Dr. Kwame Asasante Between Common and Common the FA and Supreme Court. Any new voter register Hong Kong and Noan Yebeka. Maybe Mecca and court verdicts and a crab to Ebi. I'm say full details of my. Okay, right. Nya yewo hano nese anopeya court edia tuja se Kokrokoo Jr. Edin Kunim Ora Kennedy Ejapon Edin Kugo ewo court and koma omode koye koka and semni bina the court has given Kennedy Japan 30 days to retract and apologize 3 times on the platforms he used to defame Kwekubako. Damages set at 100,000 cedis plus cost of 30,000 cedis. Indeed, that is what we have for now. We'll follow up and find out if there's anything else that we need to let you know. Yebema Mason Ate Yankodi is studio Munkomo Anapay me champion for the dama makwaba if you na do a fidia to her Yene Dr. Kwame Asasante senior political science lecturer University of Ghana Legon ha Kwesi Pratt Jr. your managing editor Inside newspaper Simon Osei Mensah Shanti regional minister when you home adajano pay ababe kan ho mpanyin for me chiamu bioma no pay na madam ase ne madaje Enra Supreme Court ede inkomobi etudwa ema nyina Ghana fo nyina new voters register saga. Supreme Court has affirmed CI 126. Supreme Court insists current voter ID cannot be used for registration. Omampenia Dada John Dramani Mahama say we are disappointed and we disagree with the ruling. Or the council government trying to manipulate electoral process for fear of election 2020 defeat. ECD Atuja said Tuesday bay you be starting voter register. Opinion assessment what is political science lecturer. O share utie baby free ban in yakono patcho to den
kwame mamenchia omanfo mawache
yeje uso
ene eduma pa obi akrem de momeni yankoso ni sa na mumoyari na obi anhwe no ni oyara na mraso
yo
unam baby na fe uhun krofo ya aya na obi sese su oyara no wo ho se ni pa akon me ka kire won se wo ho
yo papa pay
yo kwame nara koto kasai na uka se na wotwe bi ni a woto nsa frema me ba ha
yo
me ka kasa bi se democracy no ka na menka bi nti obi ka no bi aka bi obi nti no ho ase a enyotuo enya ba na okọ court na court no kasa obete isanse court no kasa yedi kan eyemra ne atusu abien eyehye ne atusu abiesa eyenkware nram se court no kasai
yo
chere nsemu numu ne court no dikosia ne se ne NDC for the coin no ni titiru card na sam no won anya ntum mepo asam ne to
yo
na court no kasa wie no wakasa osan chere electoral commission so onkoso no nye na djuma yanga yesu amanya sam no asembia no ko wie court a asi o asem fufuru bia e wo kwan fufuru a wadeka enunti sese ne de obi ankoka ahwe ye ne de enchere court ni so bia ne awokan ebetumi anka sanhwe bio no ye nya saa ne de ene na court ne mra no na asem ayo mra
yo
ayo hye ayo no kware odi adwuma nti abato commission afiase se odon so re ya ahobua no obesate akire odin no court na asem no mini asem bia wo ho esane se na mum na nka ye mempai bo se ne ebeko bia no anka esane oyare nti nka abato commission hwe na ni hwe na chikakra na nka ome buayen se wo be chire odin kakra bi na oyare na mehawen na makwan enye court akwan mini to me bia court na kasa enuanen yeko nti sese no court na kasa na abato commission etiso ye na adwuma no ye na adwuma me hawe wom pa ne so yari anka din ne de wo kire wo se ne wo pese wo kire bia brand sifu se oh dabi hwe mfiri na wo ho no fa nku bi ne niam bi guguso ne fa nya adwuma na mete ndi sifu na sepa bra MP abato commission onu so se dabi mesa kire wo foforo na me so mete won ase no yare ne ba mu pe na how me enunti nanka minya yanka ebe yese oh wochiro din ne kakra bi na mum nsama sesa yere koyen animu ebe sra bato commission say democracy no ne nkurabata ye din a wo be kiro na wo be kiro ni ye esa ne say eno no wode ade bi ye wo amanyasem no mu yede to aba na unya din ne kiro no wo kiro na mfom so ba ho a ene anka wa anya kura nke ye if you say nsemu nyina akonyina no abato commission say din no ho wasam esa ne se brim wo ho a wondin entesa nke wuram na be wuram yewo won fo kwanpa bi so na won hihye woniama wano na sa ko ka yete da wa abato ngumen hun dingira hun ebejo if you say da bia no na mekan yere kwa abato a na wote sa dedei yeto abewi a ubogese bibia ni wo ne yetese ye wo register mu ni yare nye na adaho na fede abesanye nkom sekonto nkrodu na rehawen mesre abato commission say orokwa ko chiri odin onfa sonwe papa bi nsonso na won a ebekọ kuru animu no yenhu say ne kronkron ano yempese yebesanga babio yerekoto ababio na efa ye ko ayeka amuo nipa bia na wo mu ayen wo saade no nya etuso ebien wo ho ye ura mahama kan ne kasa bi yo ko kire na adwene wo ho eye court no kasa no wo hwe democracy enne nkrabata bebria wa kire na adwene obi kire na adwene wasam ho a obi ani asem bia na emum wo kire wa adwene wo court asam ho a court de ni gina ho dese wo kwani mu na wo san bisa enti owura mahama adwene o kire wo ho meni ni asem bia esa ne se o ho kwan so kire na adwene o kire wie osanka kase bi se abato commission ore ma ban enunu no de na ye niema bi a sebe enye no kwan nem yo menim ba bi a ni nyina so wo na so etesadia ene na abato commission onhwe na bonhwe ni sente sanso dia abato commission nyina ne nanso na onye adwuma no na nia ewo owura Muhammad tima emani nye niema bi ni no obroni beke so improve ne wrong you esa ne say akanfo obebi a wobu o se ntwanto no so na we yare
ntwanto no so
na we yare say unza ye mofra ukotwa aduan a saa bre no na ye chikura say wo abofra wo beto nam wo betere ware na o papa bi asoma koto pusa breme na wo kwa maame no de nam bi atoso ama wudu kwan so ya no we yare ezan so soma sidi nam sidi ndi ne baka won yawde na en se onipa no ton ade no ma ni ba so ya on fa bi nto so na abofra no wa yare abato commission dede a nkrofo ye nyina wo bo abato commission kokko wode kire na wode ma na adwuma na ye adi mu se wanye se a wanhwe ya se oma eno inhununan na mum enhye ne den se obetuma ye adwuma no be ye ne kwan so even se wore ya ade bi na se ade ne mehum ya metuma bisa ho asemo se nyotan na mum ne amepa ne se me ka kire wa na wa ye niye abato commission onye niye omeni ne nkrabata na ade nyina ene democracy ayen afa ato ye ho so ya ye de be ye omeni mesre ne se abato commission se onhwe sansemu nyina na onye niye na fei wokokire odin na bibiara nye wano mehaw bebre eye din kire na obiara kire wo no yo esane se oyere wi eya hometew den na menya se mekwa kire mi din na mahwere me nkwa
obi so abisa se se ne bibia o se yetoaba
you
na yere ba beto aba ne bibiara ye bebo nchenku nipa ba akohia eno so ye
you sa chenku no
yo
enanka yemu bi bian adwene ne se sanka ye nipa kakra bi a anka muso nyeso na sese ya ayo bia no abatum commission ono na sobo no ene adwuma ne da no so ni obeya obetumi ahwe na wadi apomudinfo covid fo niema no mraso no eye ne how ba ko ne atusu abien se obi kokire odin a wanfo yada nkofie yo abatu commission saade no na efein so se obehwe na okire odin na nsamanfo ada wo betena yen register mu no wo be fim yeri hu bio eto de bia sansa manfo no ko no aba wo nyan no asori na wo be hunhuna yen wo register ni mu sasa mu ni ntwa na onye na djuma fefefe efi se otumi ye ni ya mi gidi se abato ni yakoto aba no ukoto wo kan free and fair election wo manie me bia da ho fe na se obeto na ohun se bibia da na kwanma oni nyina so bia obeka kire o se medi nkuku na menye ntum dabi na emom bibi kwachew pe obehun se wasori etia mede me wa yirihim sania ekwei abato commission bashiam bibi wo hwam pp primaries na course na sa mra na covid mra no baby wo ha ubege se na se nipa akona na woje woni na wokọ no ba wo him handkerchief mere duku no mon mi ha ne bi se no wo men mu ha na yew abato commission nsia bibi wo sa de nim kwa mo ye ho ban kwa me midi ibe fi ase
mate oro sevensa enra osuso mo sen
kwa me ende yedi ka mechia mo ni motifu nyina
ya joso
we dey na ye obvious say na o twe sende mo ma yen kwan ma ye ba ha be kasae no emse me kan se obia nhase no mo aboa no ho so ko akotwuru ni din efi se hwese ne niema no ko na ebeya din na ye nwanwa se bia enka atemu no enkote se de koe no na be ko ba bi fofo efi se baby nka me amehu se ke bia Supreme Court kra no abuntan atia wono ntan bia obu mra twam ewo abu Ramadan asem no efi se wo hwe National Health Insurance Card na ye dey eco register ema enya voters ID card na o me yense ni hu kwan yisi na no emia tiase se na wo yi ka sa din no a free register na yade a eho odin edise na yade eho odin ni bi de wo dia na kire se register no already no ensam wo ho yentimi hu wo mo kra wo mo ID card no bi ekoji voter ID card etine ho be hia se yi sa din free yo niema bibri wo me kwotro mu din wa manone list by call Supreme Court after election no nanka list ni nipa ne be 705 e ka say yi sin kofed ni numra wonya be 50 sa nipa we ya ntimi approve nyina no mu din hihim case ba say e bi kura no ne was scanned pictures e kire say enyade a okọ ho no ba bi okoji card na yitwa no mfoni bi dada bi na ye ne de afidie ne chibeto register no ne sa ne ma hodo bibre na no said the flaws na wo sa register no about okrata na dos defects no dos ti hu be hia sa obeye foforo ti media na say definitely see na beko the tosu bi electoral commission na wo ho kwan hyehyɛ emra we the constitution di amana electoral commission na emra no ma no ho kwan so betima hyehyɛ emra ye beto ababi enti once ana say CI nako ama parliament agiatumu now her time is na set for yourself na o ka say o be ka say bia yensanfa o voter ID card ne mehimwa kwame na je very officer o ka say registration na maso ko so sign the kushimwa o be san kole o say di 21 sittings ansana
21 days
the 21 days ansana abayemra enti na chese ne nyina na nka wonje at the end of the day untimi ntro ko time be so short say ke be din say ubetimi atro enti de na mnim say siya na ebeko enti o kai ametoa so e ka say NDC for ruling ni bast on betro mudin because o man tro mudin a na just one person because they won't participate this year general election, you know. It is a constitution, you know, they making it clear. Article 94 say, answer na bit me am Rashibe Janino. Also, you're registered voter. And answer na also ubet my bay man penny or Ghana. I was so qualified, so bit my parliamentarian, which also implies also you're registered voter. And that is Article 62, I think. Oko Article 63 so krana. A hot one so no. One more band also. And sana what made na so man penino, they should also be registered voters. Not just a different me, ni omike kan ni na anya medium ni say ya ombetro. Because ka say won tro udin a. Ti say no mo chairman no ko e say duru o mo nkotro no. Dem come dream out then na say mun ni candidate. Na election na nko mu nkobi enti o hwe ya na wotwi ye twa mu ye na o mapani dada mahama na wotwi ye kra ni wiki and day o sa ten ni say NDC for no ye bi yi na o mo nkotro o medin even when the rule in the kra ni nya ma ye no because no who say enye possible so bit maka so mo ntro medin na de na nwanwan ni say me no see dun katia adiaba won twen kra na nya yi obitia na akoye press conference smodi nkunim ne di voter ID card no bacho minhu ruling no ba bia kan na koma anasi akasi ama wo mu two release no wo ma grant ya mo no ho no e bia wo ready release no mo grant mo mu yi ne ma no this speed yes our press conference na ya yantu yebo amanyofo no kakra if he say we koye yi no one man crofo bi force hope he said there obi be now so 2016 say o mo comfortable league e ma mo crofo bi enya ni daso ni arehemu say o mu di nkunim o yes na na o di niam bi hye crofo bi nti amasa eno ne tade basabasa eba omam ti bibi ba ye nya botre ye nyina ye nto yebo na ye hu ade ne sunsan so ni yi ansa na yakututu mampamrika go we jo ye no ye mampamrika na otutu ye no kan obetima twen kakra kwame minister I think we use old voters ID card.
Well, and no say it's settled.
Yeah,
Supreme Court has settled, but issues they say President Mahama, former President Mahama, they are two just said we're disappointed, we disagree. Government trying to manipulate electoral process for fear of losing election 2020. But easy to say by Tuesday, now voter register, you're starting.
Hey, Chairman, me baho.
Yeah.
Who said, Doctor, no, Cassa, no, SABia, NDC for no crap, I will make my son cook. Nibia say Supreme Court na Nibia umbetimi assign Sacramubi or Womuli Mana, and yes, idea the Supreme Court are Canada. Now, we had time on Swa and 7 Chirimuna and Casabebano. The name in Aswa, a ma Supreme Court, Boo at 10 or Mabuno. About 15th of July.
By that time, now we're not starting.
By that time, now you're trying 15, 16 days. This is a process of registration of Crampo Ashasi. The NDC for BBA made almost concentrate. Ewo kwan ye be faso a ye be registration na sumbi aba dan se ye be kase ebia obesa akoya appeal na bibi you are just wasting your own time. Now the former president that can you see or your former president it told be now can answer no and here 1 2 no na reka here and BBC obesa what chese tell no we man penny the then electoral commissioner na party phobia na Ghana phobia kase yenye new voters register no so na man you could now say yenye new voters register yisi na new voters register on any Jim yisi no. Is that what he's telling Ghanaians? Sano kacha Ghana po politicians ya kasa yenhwe ensem bia ya kandada ene niema bia ya ye dada na enye susudua emaye de beka ne de enyo no na ka se amanfo nya yisi no nya nadwuma no na constitution na ma no ho kwan so we decide say obetro din ana won tro din ekwan obefa so ato aba nyina no constitution ma no ho kwan so wonye na den na asesane eno na ma eno sansem we no na ya na man krofo nya manofo din. But I'm telling you, what man your form can't correct. I was here making sure say, as somewhere be canning then, or China the ever cannot the Totumwa, and ye subani and ni adwin ye pet. Ben ya say ye kokawe na a drew baby near who say na a babuaya near kokasi. No. Saying say ebia atemu no buo no enye wo de obetimaka. But if you disagree with them there's a problem.
And that's why you disagree. Send you what you
disagree there. The ruling number. So can you get another ruling? Obetimaka say ruling way and question ya me peno.
Which is what waka ni na.
My question ya me peno. Now disagree. When disagree, you can't change the status quo. Until you go back to the same court. Now the same court decided to say Messi maybe with additional information Bia went to me and provided. Tell me consider the initial case, no? Because media it's much ado about nothing. Woman concentrating no more require or bet me a true dean near Kotoabano. Ghana ni Bia Wuti Peace FM Sabri. Asema me catch on the Peace FM. Boa ho. Na se electoral commission ni bie si en control din na control din. E ma obi na ada. Vigilantism law by am si en sign no ma kwese kudi no ma ko sign. Ye national identification authority card. Ye mpre ye nye muntro no ma ko tro. E bom na di kayo. No di ka ko tro. Temo ayisi eko testing the kitsi ene ayi wo me dey kan ko church.
That's no easy na to suffer various political parties.
But to suffer kwa me that you know of is or to suffer omo meetings omo go bedruzi eko testing kwa be fa so aturo dim video na aturo ni don ko na utiri gogo adini ba utiri gogo a we dini ba enti ensu a ye nom no se anwumu nam eti de omo kan nyina no MPP for ni party ni Ghana ni bia me sramu muntie mo am fama bin Omu bie e de kwan no to wose nkotwere din a monko na monkotwere mu din. Obi o hano mo a te say bi kura unya National Identification Authority for card ni bi. Wonso e bia woni passport. Se wan kotwere we ye twere din ni wie. No mo ye register ni wie. E bi kura wo ko bank kura ko ye bibi ne sefa ahyenso die bi bra. Unya bi. Die kura wo ne no anya adwuma. Dwene wo ho. Na hunu se die be yama ono e na koye. E ma obi e na adawo. Emma obia e na adawo because room re na ho kyerewa unhu sa nipa no a wo se nkotwere widin no obia nkonkotwere din de mesre ene de doctor kan me so metim di uni se enhye ya hodo a ene bambon sem hodo a e fa covid ho no ye make sure say registration no be hyase no ne edini nyina atoto akwam ni aye the issue say enka yenye limited registration ye many pack akremi kotwuru mudin since nipa no obi ekotwuru din e do election na sa covid no nko ya e be many pack akremi akoto aba everybody will vote everybody will go and vote so me who the difference the what is important they say ye nyina ye ni hihye ahodo no so now you see a mandatory so bi a share face mask. Driving around me be unko for ebro mu jebi bebre ebi ohoruma obi mi hu obi kro de ne nsa so ne yonkon nsase mi hu ma mi bi a so ne ma mienu nsase odo mo cross kwan do you understand en hihye no na wose ye boho yie se de be ya hihye no e betimi e de aye adwuma they say doctors yi wo ma mi ati ase se yare na ni abetena yare no de nyaka se ne mpaye na ose ebo so mbenya vaccine obenya duro bi a yitime de ko yare na nkasa be nya maaye no ye mo ye ho ban se ye betena ose nyiro obi a hye face mask even though say mo wo ade si ha disinfecting area no but still no ye nyina hye nose mask protecting ourselves say even see nim say we kura wo ho mo hye we nyina wo ho still ehun hia say ye yan so ye boy ho ban because yare no enye enam no hu no oku ye nipa ne de yare ne nante ye ya ene de yare ne nante ne de akoye ye nua ana afa so am ye nua nya bi enti no we na ya ka ne de say o ka se enye limited ne yi still now people go and do the registration and it will mean say yare ne ho dada no eno ane ho unse NDC first no now person mo fa epunum no mawura edanum eno nti na na ka mo say yisi ni hu mra so obeye ana mo say de voter ID card no be kan ho se yanyi enya chance de e begina so registration e kire ya mo hu say adia no wo mu fa epunum a obi abehu is obvious no na ko mo ko fa mpumam mpumam ne nke enyi voter ID card na kwame what is voter ID card voter register enye yen voter ID card e kra yen nyina obi a wo bi eni ya tintim no e wo krata ba akum ehun se mo krata ba akum ne ya friend register na wo si ade na register no enya such as a voter ID card ni bi nye wo si ensa fa voter ID card ni bia enye no ensa nkotro are we not getting the same register?
Well, Supreme Court saying no that's it.
Adia we dey so mo ti ase no mu jai no mu boabo mo ho na wo mo yes wo mo ko register obi ani politician bi achi mu nyina mo nko na mo ko twiro mu din na mo nko to maba wa antwura krofu bi betwro ato aba no eyi mpanimfo bedi wanim ama wo kwam kakra me kana
kwasi wadwen kire e wo sa asemi ho enra Supreme Court nkomo
masa kwa mpacho edikan say amanyuku ni nyinara amanyuku bie ni Ghana ha ende yetiye kasai o ka kira manfo se mum nkotro mudi
ofozo amfo anka
ma
and I love you
me se ende yeti hey sansanra anajo eyina ti o mampani dada John Dramani Mahama o ka se ni nkrofo ni na nkotro mudi na wo mo hwe dom wasn't a bear, a two MPP bank a free bell. At this stage, you know, will be any who catch you be some more control.
Then if you should come back.
Minister, Okasubia, you come, Mr. Enidium. Pacho,
Kasaya, Supreme Court decision, my
Minister Pacho, Enidium.
It is a sea will be any who catch you be some more control. Massa, a regional minister, and started my
Yanina with here.
Yanina, no fear her. And no pay can be bitches or Bahaya no hammy, and so on. But say it here, on soon is open crack, said you in a penocrane, say it here, the Becanocra. Opening what can send me and create Trudeau, and on the same. And it's so beera and somewhere and feed that okay, and that's all cast and some nara. And no, and I put a cast away friend of consistency, and I'm a boy. Mijitumpa. Now, when we are someone moving down, we can't feed down. You will crumble. And the electoral commission position be vacant. The Kaipa in your MPP first moment were to be said. Even though a man penny what to me with the electoral commission, and Brahma Hong Council man penny electoral commission, and I'm sending the electoral commission the money TNT. Yanya broad consultation near the Koyi Electoral Commission. The boy won't catch us and boy. And then the okay about the independent of the Electoral Commission. It's Mummy and Nara, somewhere in DCO, somewhere NPPO, Mummy and Nara Dukadaya. Mummy and someone down no more kind, and then no, and a more cannon there. And we are clear as daylight. Master Kwame, and right, me Supreme Court judgment, no. Kakra me di kanti me man ko obi. Na wonu sa sam no sane etinti o mu wie ya na ebeto dwa. So Kwame ni kura ni man ti ase.
Want to answer.
Decision na mo man no. Me ntumi hu se we na di nkunimo se we na di nkuguo oda mo ma na ye hunyan mani so. Me ntumi ti ase.
Up to now?
Oh, I feel the Matthias here.
Okay.
But I'm not interested. No, me fair from me now for lawyer for none of Supreme Court I can say anything. Me fair friend Madame for lawyer near what Bemu or your Jubilee House. What I'm person me tell you and I see ye.
I didn't know actually what dream.
Come in Pacho. Yenya penny baako. Kwasi Prempe. So no.
Yeah, H Kwasi Prempe.
Oh no, dim rasam cheaper and no can asem. Was say Supreme Court for my decision, sir. Omo decision. I'm a Ghana for you, na nye lawyer for nkwa. It is any omo kan omo nsam, say omo tro omo nsam, bro for omo kan. I saw omo the two forms say the be obi abetiase. And then what should be very beautiful. I say, to communicate better, the executive director of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, H. Kwesi Prempe, has urged the Supreme Court to be more concise and unambiguous in their ruling in court cases, as the Supreme Court is for all Ghanaians and not for lawyers alone. What's up in some debris? Meaning you are doing papa. Because I'm not Supreme Court decision with the and you run no crowns and I go for baby better as a lawyer for no crown, Casanca no crown, no Montesia. Now, a quite big moon and so on. Brofuno mokano omo bre na se kakra kebebo ye nyinara ema entiase ye adwuma na etumi de omo decision no ayadwuma kama mpacho anope ya ye nia Asante regional minister aka bibia no so ye no kretrodo efibia ni ho wo say Supreme Court omo decision omo de tu dwa no reasons intia omo reach that decision no ebeba 15th of July.
Yeah.
Master, 15th of July, near registration exercise. I didn't hear. We had national emergency. Look at the controversy around the register and so on. Now, the reasons number 15th of July, it may affect other processes. Some other people may want to take. Because we may try reasons, no kind of decision. Without the reasons, it's difficult to understand the decision. 15th of July. By that time no na registration na start na ekọ nso okay wo reasons na ni wo nyadwen na mrepa ho meanwhile no okay ne no obudi tu jo no makase lower cost ni na no so should be guided by their decision no masa me catch up say me tiase Debbie me tiase nye say when you emergency say ubaya juma day and night to cry and what with the reasons na bantamo na reasons ben kwa na 2 weeks after judgment alabraka
isn't not normal
me say
in law say normal I'm going to be the reasons by much later Anna
masa anya normal in the sense sad you know normal in the sense pain. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't normal say the bias and you know because I thought that what would the decision about reasons no accompany it at the same time. And you can say normal say a bias pain me know you drink but say normal say sad you say you no there the alabraka me know you drink enyi na opening sani opening for di kana Supreme Court akasa 7-member panel on akasa but emrama ye ho kwan says Supreme Court kasa wie kra yetimi kasa Supreme Court and then he adwen anase and then nya adwen and also ye mra da ho ema ye ho kwan we can disagree with the Supreme Court
of course
even the full bench of the Supreme Court to come here mra yetimi kasa abba aden a sense Supreme Court no ye di mu no mo de kasa ye to me and no de aduma anti Ghana ni bia wo ho kwan say Supreme Court ye mra bi wie and I say church mra bi wie a yetimi ka say alabraka we the Supreme Court ene onyadwen eno da ho etosumi no 7-member panel of the Supreme Court kasa na asem etuntwa esa so hwe mra mu a ye wo ho kwan NDC for who crying individual citizens na the Assembly Supreme Court who cry say one back for review no is a form of appeal into Assembly so people so called reviewer a kind of playing out to me call for review and so on enti nasanya Supreme Court kasa ya enti ye ina ni ajatum ni dietre one dogodogo line emrane interesa emrane interesa yetumi try adwen yetumi kra sign ko Supreme Court say we am ye there fa kwan papa nti mo san hwe mu biu eno kra so e kwan da hosa na mpadifo se sia no Supreme Court a try na adwen no kra sani amenia lecturer kan no abayemra Supreme Court try na adwen abayemra nti abayemra. What are the options available to people who think that the Electoral Commission is not behaving properly? Options no, a dozen. Masampacho edikai. One more officer Electoral Commission on the Dume now UTT and Brasso, in spite of the Supreme Court decision, can boycott the elections. It is their right. The right of every citizen, every political party, every organization to boycott the elections. I'm running my whole kind. I know you're number one. Political parties can participate in the elections under protest. Yeah, quite there. Now, so now you trim far and your deco. They can also participate under protest. And also, one other option. Option bakuswa and also daho and they say apart from boycotting and participating under protest no the other option is to fully participate in the process in spite of the misgivings and we have 3 options.
Fully participate
as
a protest?
No.
Okay, all right, let me pick
without protest, without reservations, fully participate, accept the Supreme Court decision and participate, and we have 3 options. Boycott is another option. Master, option bakuswa dahoni going back to the Supreme Court for review. That's also an option. And so options are options no a dos ye pa. Na anopay many anum penny for mudi kan kasa no.
Quick check, Kwesi. Review is not a form of appeal. It says here success on appeal and review are entirely different. Well, baby, that be legally.
Legal.
Yeah, legally.
Master, na review what's it saying? Was it nyamu kan woman didn't who ye and as it been to almost uncoding who be? I feel so to say. Me lawyer no me nebu.
I think America say legally. Umpire says not the same thing.
No problem. No problem at all. Master Pacho, many are not ready for Mudi can Kasayan. Obu na aka yare bonia aka yen COVID-19 omaka hwasem yi pa na ya na se ka COVID-19 hwasem ya say eh na COVID-19 ni se bedu December na se no so da so wo ha na ye ne dey so ye do December. The reality is that ye do December.
And
copy December 5 months.
Should we wait?
Yeah, yeah, obi new university December. Registration exercise Sunday, you do ho, you wo ho. You do ho, you wo ho, you need to feel gani se committee, a shrine na eko. Master, you know at studio hey, you need to feel gani, Sir. Sa ban bona ye bono. The day face mask sekata when is any studio it does not prevent COVID-19 infection. When you yenuanum ye namfo ne ade a ene wonam awwa bemu titiri akesefo ne ade no na person ka say health minister no on the protocol no so ana health minister the protocol no so ade a che no minister for kentin kaya wo muda hospital master no mu nimra no so no mu di so following the protocols does not prevent the infections. Unless, of course, person catch them say, now say, person catch them your home say, one more any bino, one the protocol no so. And some of the protocol no so no more that whole idea. And yet, me and faster protocol don't cast them. It sounds so much the protocol no so. Now, what sign enya sa yare ni bi. Na, master, so say I can say. Ya buru 15,000 ana meboa.
No correct.
Ya buru 15,000. Me resa ni ade iko ya. Bed da pen bed da pen mi no mu wanya na nam 20,000 and more.
Possible.
And nyasam kitwa. Amama bebre wo ho a. Masa, wo mu figures na do 1,000 po and wo mu impose to complete lockdown. Mauritius Omu imposed to complete lockdown for more than 3 months. No omu case no na indu 1,000 po. You can check. It's here na 15,000 ko 20,000 area mu ha. As I say ni omo e be ye no ye dwene ho yi papa. Up impedifo me ni nipa bibria kasa. Me ni MPP for kasa. Me ni NDC for kasa. Woman minu akasa omu ye MPP for ni NDC for bebre akase so omu amanyo ko nu kra akase omu konkon register omu konden kochna ba me bia me ne kasa o say na me miti hey me o high blood pressure me o diabetes adi enti na asa me konkon register na me kokumi ho wa anya kra miti anya ye me ko register December no nso mawu edi register no me ko register na hu faso de say sabi ko register na mitun ko to aba nyansa be na wo
na edu December na obit bi akwa to aba with the old car oba akwa to aba there so we quit an old car da assuming say COVID as well
akwa me sasem we de makado da na me kasa wanti
me di bi sasem
say makado da na san so go bi sa me wasem me ka say voter registration exercise ye do so ye wo mu sesiara e wo June ni ye ko chase
no correct
until we are there. As for elections, it is 5 months away.
What if then we still have COVID?
If we still have COVID, assuming that we still have COVID,
hypothetical, yeah,
those options will still be available to us, whether to vote or not to vote.
Okay.
Because of our fears. But a new Pachino, Master Kwame,
Bakwesi.
Ubayeli, you know, Baku, you were in a Rex no dosu. Ubayeli Bakupe, and Abel, you know, in a Rex no dosu. So say hey, obiere ni wiase ha bia onim how to avoid COVID infection. Obiere ni. Eti na ne ye minimizing risk. Minimizing risk ne ye. Oh na me chelo. Enti minimizing risk a crime na be fa so. So we hear edin aye kwakotro ya. One of the ways of minimizing risks is to stop the cluster of polling stations. Sa cluster na mbe ye no. You say Uma obi register with the normal polling station. Ne board in there, a cow. Now so it minimizes the risk. I don't think it minimizes the risk, and I'm very, very deeply worried, about this situation. What's that, Kwame?
Very crazy.
You're datching at the same. Me, but try drink kakra. Na empanifo asan bisa me say the session exercise here koyi nobody can determine the outcome today. It is possible say here koyi and ansensam a yet it say binom say omo de he o the tractor crack or trini fie crack on register and so on. Ye be na half the qualified voters no and are register. What does that say about the validity of the election results? What does that say about acceptability of the election results? Yakoye, ye na region bi wo ha bia region no, enam aduma party fo bia koye nti, enam region na kasa wo circumstances na nti, no more register ebia no more register by 90% of qualified voters. Anya bonu o, ne so bia sheda na yesa. Wo man kasa wo musu ani nyoma bia wo region ho nti. No more register 90% of voters. Another region for different reasons, 30% of voters to register.
Yeah.
A banner, sir. Massa, near Uramani Gunum. Because I think your babies are a banner saying a region where there 90% coverage. Not region where you 30% coverage.
I didn't know banner, sir.
Kwame, ubeji tieze mbasa.
Menka sir, maybe sir say edin komo. I didn't know GDC bit to be a banner, sir.
So we don't know what is likely to happen. This is one of the possibilities which is likely to happen. Now the upper, if I'm throw wall you. So Kobani sir, you will see how we will contest the election results. And once some baby, and once some ebia here and so on. But that will happen. You society I can say I'm for bebre static as and I say metie radio stations bi ni ade you see hey so asoda for power police for wo mu kura akodie hu pa ya de won comfort region kwame yeso so what
one agaza
one here
Debbie
and the crowd papers no
paper there let's find it.
Oh my pam
say amukoye exercises bi and aso amukoye them
exactly your video no crowd ha make you video natural
that's why soldier for me exercises every day.
Oh Kwame na me no di achini say
na wo kan no say soldier for ekuta akodie ye hu no that's why man crofo abohu.
Exactly, that is the point I'm making.
And
a minimum interpretation
ne say
and say yeah, shut up, Boncrofo, who send your bayer and social exercise never ban or won't to me and control.
Oh, but how?
Kwame, it is the interpretation of others.
But you and I know it's a wrong interpretation.
Why do you want to add me to you?
So you believe it? Well, I believe it's wrong interpretation.
Okay, that is your belief. And I am not challenging that. Massa, hey, I'm quite challenging Shaman.
Oh, Kwesi Jai. Kwesi Jai.
But don't make your belief my belief.
No.
You understand? Kwame.
So soldier for cooperation.
I church move differently.
I
am municipal chief executive for what K2 South.
Yeah.
Or no church move say. I buy yes, I send a buyer, a boy who buy a free COVID-19. Yes. Or say, I buy a close to borders. Send a buyer COVID-19 being free a man on him. Now, one who say borders near porous. It's nipa to me for family into the security personnel and alcohol. Send a buyer. You bet me porous borders now. Also in church no. But the binom so did this a deliberate intimidation.
of people in the Volta region?
Of course.
Nobody can do that. Deliberate intimidation, said they.
Hey, Kwame.
Crazy. Say soldier for cooperation. Me say it was deliberately intimidate microphone.
Kwame say with television super Kameyi be biatro. Kameyi video of the so-called exercise be biatro. Unfortunately, you need television. You understand? Kameyi biatro.
Question say soldier for come be hu.
Aha.
So mo tracks me cars.
You go you hu a then you go you hu to coincide with this registration exercise. And yes, man go for bisa. And I think they have every right to ask those questions. You understand? They have every na me na make so mumbisa na ase mumbisa. Na Kwame after them pacho. And that they will go crash and some more. Back at them anim the new weekend crusading guide. Kwame, I'm sure say a bit that one.
Also they.
Hekratafe dikai. Nadmo boss leads Ashanti Region MPP 9-member committee for mass registration exercise. How is that possible? How is that possible? Nadmo boss. Hey, Nadia ni Nadmo boss. So, what
that's why political appointee, Anna.
Hey, Kwame. Sana Bekano.
Kwasi yati memo ha yehu sa dem bibiri.
Ashanti regional minister, yes sir, I don't have a problem with it. NADMO is an apolitical organization and it should be seen as an apolitical organization.
We both know it's not seen like that.
Pastor say,
Yemi anu ni sentence ah.
So an apolitical organization, National Disaster Relief Organization, no?
Kwasi.
A political organization.
Kwasi. Peter Kofi Potofi. No nye NADMO boss.
Na enyentia yankoso nye.
Did we say nye?
Kwame, upa. Go back to my earlier writings.
Okay, insight. Okay.
Nyamepe. Ye na kasati as a NADMO no be a wing of the PNDC and it was improper. Hey, o man peni o to sesia na NADMO dankwa kufadu o kasasem ni bi. Namina for more bemu bebre, a yet dambo to Numina Kasasam Nibi said NADMO has become a wing of the NDC and that we should not accept it. Nasi Yakwam and Sakraya Bar and ne 2020 Yakotoa Bar, head of NADMO, I Ashanti regional leader for mobilization for registration exercise. I didn't know what Memuha. I didn't know what NADMO. Hey, I didn't know ye. Master, I no money be why this is so. Yeah, you name say this is so. I think this decision should be reviewed as quickly as possible.
The Supreme Court decision?
No.
Which one?
NADMO Penino. Oko Lidi. For registration exercise.
Well, so you say you call another one. Mpacho, my member back to.
Pacho, mami jina hakakra misra Kwame.
Kwesi, me ka Supreme Court is so dey me akọ other areas. It we in term na mintie.
Na Supreme Court no registration exercise here.
It we ni anko. O say NADMO.
Master, assuming said there is a national disaster. And a national disaster no kwamati say bi ba. And you na warning be say earthquake nearby no. Kese pa no nam kwan so ba. Na say NADMO pani a leading national relief effort. Doesn't it lend itself to the criticism said NADMO no a wing of the governing party and therefore would not be fair?
Oh, there be. Well. Interesting conversations this morning. FR and Supreme Court decision. Kwame, if we see the jungle warfare soldiers marching through Achiase or the 4BN soldiers marching through Kumasi, even for a whole month, can we conclude they are there to threaten or frighten Eastern and Ashanti voters? Dan in Kwabenya is asking. Well, as far as in Komono Kono, it is the Supreme Court's decision of 2012, which validated John Mahama as president. The reasons were never given on the same day. What was the big deal? PK is saying so. And then, let me see. I can't understand Kwesi's arguments. Whether we follow the COVID protocol or not, we can still get the disease anyway. Under these circumstances, must we not do anything at all?
No.
Clearly, registering to vote is an option in Ghana. Let those who feel concerned stay away. It's a choice. Brichum says so. Doc, remember also na Mintio closing comments there for Yanko.
Kwame, allow me do closing comment. We dey kitu abi na kame dey wono.
Metie.
The Asandra say okay na Supreme Court can na. Supreme Court can say. Electoral Commission on the basis of its independence, you know. No court can stop them from doing anything unless they are committing an offense. Even if there are better ways of doing what they intend to do, go and read it. It's in the decision of the Supreme Court yesterday. Obviously, even if there are better ways of doing it, for as long as they are not breaching the law, no? So there could be better ways of organizing this.
Okay. Sampain, Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NPP, says the reasons for the Supreme Court decision, if even it is published today, won't change the ruling. The matter is simple. 1, EC, go and do your work. 2, old voter ID would not be used. 3, CI 126 is the instrument. The scaremongering should stop. I'll be the first to go to my registration center on Tuesday morning. Good morning to everybody in your studio. Good morning, Sampain. Doc, Pacho Bremwe.
Yo. Kwame, say they're going to be
yo
na, and then someone a kind a free and fair election no Ninkrabata Baku voter register na American amount for say sa register na work on someone and no na ultimate waba and nunti did there na wo hun court na twa sa asam na wo nti say yereko akwachire oyendin yo mepe se obiara obechire wudin a ochire on mmara kwam so aya na ye usuben bi wo menha na bibia ye chire odin no yen yekura nipa bi nsa ne de wonko se suban no enwune ente se soro kura yen ka ehu se enye da na ye betwe sa ade so manso esa ne se se yekoso yesa bibia no na yema abato no ayehu na osura bem esi yi saaden tim na wo hwe mura prat ene mpanimfu ikasa wo kan nyina hu bi ye wo abato mu seye security o seye demo ne ye hia wo free and fair election ne wo hwe ye voter education abato commission wa said say o kire niema bi efi sabri kosi da wobeto aban da woto aban ene nachi o wa de kire so kire civil society ekuwa eni aban afa woye adentem ebusuya ene aban ntem no civil society organizations na won so wonyina won nan so pen na won hwe na won kire eniema bi efi say so manfu okwan a wode fa so chirodin na okwan a wofa so to aba ubehun se sansem bebre a yesuro sansem bebre a esensen yenko ma ha yen yebetuma kun atia etese saade ne yadwuma na ne titiriw ye dewru bo adwuma wonyina wonan so braso se minim se won aye adwuma ya che a woye ne ye wonchi mu kana wonma emunya den efi se sese ne yere kwa adwuma no so ne wo behu a enye no wonfa ntugwa na mpanimfo ntie wontie na sopam na wonya so adwuma eno ne de ahoto bebe bia efei niema aya ehunhwan wa batu bebre mu ne esane se yetato mra agegemu obi afom oso ye party oyasemasi odi na chi odi obontin achi enya se papa mra ye mra otu awato enye cheopa enye hwe ye fanye dwuma pen na nkrofu hu se wori ntumi nto aba wasum bejo a wonfa mra nya adwuma obi akọ no so obeto mra wi a minye ne se obi akora betuma to aba mra nya adwuma na nya ne pen na etore bi a se niam bi koso na hu se polisi fu gina ho a ne bi se yen agya no mu wori adwuma ni ana e wo mu se dodo na ya adwuma na to de bia bram pipifu reto won aba na niema ni bi de koso because fu gina wonam se enti wo menhim ha na enye wo nyina mesre won se aya won adwuma na meti ase edwa bia ye din wo so bi nsem na politician aba bi so nsem enti won so aya meti won ase na mum adwuma de wo kese wo be ya etesa wo ye se wo se wo pe nobai na mum usuro owo wo ren kodo dia ene na afu nu di bi ntom kra yo wonye wo ho afei abatu commission eye na said so create equal playing field o maye hu se American ye betun obi nikan nye obi ene den nea oka chiro obi onka chire ye nyina nea oyen o maye nyina ehum oma obi adwunu mu nyana na debi obi adwunu yem na pe na ore chire o o wanye se ya meye se debi untwa nto no so na we yare ntisa abatu commission twa to obi aso na we yare efei so we free and fair election security hu hia ye bangbo wo mamunya din na yekoyen animu yi be biara ete se ye de enansin bangbon enhye ho ma na enhye ho mato ye sa ne me nyina abatu commission so nya na adwuma se din no be kire won o menye eide o men enko na wie pepepe se ye wie a yen amaso agina na o men efi ne rekon yen se bre se obribia be kire odin na ye be yi nsamanfu afim ye sa ne ma na me gere se abatu ebe fefe nipa wo se woro nkoto aba no se wo pese to aba ye wo ayi wo friend dem wo right wo mpese wo beto a ye wo right na mum se nipa no wo mpese wo to aba no America kasa bia owura Pericles o ka kire Greek for bra wodi di democracy wodi fi authoritarian rule tyranny what about democracy o say obiara wo mpe democracy you are not only useless to society but you are a danger to society enhwe saade ni ye esa na so kan no Aristotle to aso o say the price that wise people pay for not taking part in government of their country is to be governed by fools we do so wodon ko wo betena wo den David nea esanse wo nyansa nti nea sebe ubuni so ni nyansa no obekwa akosi gina yama na sai gina ne be sen wokom menye ni se obiara peso okosa akwanyi so na mu ye obiara se o se mepa me ngiro medi ba mekere na mum yere yesa ne ma na yenwe hu ye esane se ka edaso no ebro ade a wo be ni afim mane ato
Meda say Bebre and Kwesi Asemodic to join. I was just doing some checks this morning. From what I hear from military sources, almost say 66 artillery and stationed in the Volta region in Ho, the one formerly known as Mortar Regiment. But as we speak, there are no military troops on any special assignment in the Volta region. There was a military exercise in the Upper East, Upper West, and Northern regions. It was a counter-terrorist maneuver exercise. That is all I can tell you for now. And this was communicated to all security services, and some journalists were even invited to cover the exercise. So as we speak, there's no major exercise in the Volta region apart from regular patrols. Indeed, that is what I have here for now. I shall see you, Minister.
Yeah, Chairman General, registration required here, and I would register. It just means to an end, but an important aspect. Intermediate mestre will be a senior Canada, will be uncle, non truly. You are qualified, so true within. What do you feed doing what tree? Air crow. Why do you with the horn ye yabitimako? Unya Ghana near and Cochru. The at Crastano. Kwame Crastano and Tresse, whom will conglomerate at 1.2. If you have a number of but they move the machines. Or be a number of days, or then the usage of the machine. And I'm on my Crastano. And if you have a normal move machine, but it doesn't mean that woman call 1 point at a particular time, no macro or macro register. The also registration there Kwame over the years registration as anywhere ya if you are reading the percentage any soon CB. I be I see a BRG say a basa is no news. There be a reading B percentage was through as he will be. But me what I'm going to do is say me tia sentimental. I have to canvas and make sure so will be a control. Because at the end of the day, Roman control the aquam, we are not the pressure as I be good regional minister. So, regional minister who is in mind, no extended period. No, I'm going to campaign so I'm control no make us say extended period because extension are man work. And the above now, fortunately, we were not a door so kakra or no be an control needing. Be an control now in your last minute. And said you voters register on Nebia region Unyaki to Ebia near to election do contesting. And you can't contest the register before the election. You are just registered, then you have to register to the Akotwaba. Then you are going to use the basis region where you want my petrol with you. Now, law ban the Wagana has said, see a control with the force will be training 3 years of petrol. Here, Wagana has one also control with him. Wow, and it's a one PA anchor tra. As I knew before so.
Minister Abaka controlling.
Kwame, me bomb pie. Nanyanko pom wame. Not 30th no, and to me. I wish I can be the first person to register. Me the mini one grow. Na me wiem so a mesa monitor. Na me kona me help performance no send ye ko. Ana security there asante mantem enu na enkosi anwumre mo be hu nhihye na ye de atokwa say de da bia ye no ye de betu dwa no ye de press release beba security ye de agu akwa mu nyina obia hu nti obia hu nka, and we are going to do it enti na meaning say o mbesura military ko train no mbesura then you do registration in a military for the military for the police for the region and some go through. Because you see, whatever the situation is, you have to provide security at the registration centers. Anna military, you have mobile team one, you do one around task force. Apart from one region, there will be a task force and so air run. It is a noble care amount for there. Then what do we do? Not a registration in Ukraine for security phone call. Anna, it can't be basis. Say only parents want trolley down, one person trolley. As simple as that. We are going to provide security at all the registration centers. A regional minister Bia said it as head of the regional security council, because any security lapse, you will be blamed. O ma pani timi nya de ni nyina no enu ntina emra na ma no ho kwan so mfa nkrofo bi ntwetwea baabi no omo hwe niam bi ma omo. If the security lapse in Ashanti region or say mensa will be blamed, because when makusina nine some perform certain rules and the security need there, we will provide the securities there to make sure say obia hunti obia honka ni aya de no asumdwem kwa me de make us ba wie no Mebo Professor Mrs. Rita Akosia Dixon. Me mani tinkwa. Wo dibra ya boni din sede amano no be hyase afi August. Obe Vice Chancellor for Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Me bona baso. Me bai me shia woni ni VC me no ma ye djuma. Woman no I'm hoping say senior tinonsesa na obetima ye djuma se de me hu no, and I'm sure say at first VC a woman VC of KNUST no obe deliver no dia share e ma nyina animonyam no dia share Ghana for animonyam sanso na me president Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo echiri nyambo a nyame ya doma enru enwumre no abe the candidate of the new patriotic party in election 2020 no ono so me bona baso GDA party na nya wonmu na obia nko fa form so obe contest no na akọ unopposed na already wadika aka say oyi vice president as the running mate yadanasi. So nobody changes the winning team we a solid team. People are more experienced, no more all that it takes to rule a country or to govern a country. A Chinyam boy, Srinyam say Vivian Koso Jojo, a Mayina, na young Twaso, Unco, including Kunim, or Afi, Abatona, Yabatron.
Regional Minister Marina say,
Kwame ni be ye crown and no many je double.
Ade Liverpool Kahwana.
Liverpool.
You never walk alone.
And a Supreme Court ruling.
Ayo.
And you know 25th. No good day for me. Without be asked me chairman.
Dr. Asa Esante, a former student also of Jari. Also mean chairman and pay. Yo, meaning says Obe kind dear.
What awesome.
Yo, but Abdul Malik Kwekubako seeming kind way man quickly. Or say the law has spoken and it spoke loud and clear in a court of competent jurisdiction. I am happy I chose to vindicate my integrity in the appropriate forum, a court of law, not on radio, television or social media, which is also an available option in the democratic space. There is no oxygen of life for ugly noises and allegations born out of allegations in a court of law. There, facts and evidence speak, not ugly noises and malicious allegations. I thank my wife, my children, my friends, and especially the coffee shop mafia for their support and prayers throughout the 20 or so months of the litigation in court. May Allah bless them all. Long live Ghana. Abdul Malik Kweku Bako. Sir, it's me pon.
Oh, come na say me so mama.
I'm Pacho Brum Kwesi.
Masa.
Pacho, yes, me baby Alexia Ya Kumiwa. Happy birthday in advance to you. Alexia Ya Kumiwa. It's from your dad George Kumi of SIC, your mom Florence, your sisters Lenora, Samuela, and Franklina. Happy birthday in advance, Alexia. Kwesi, o say mema 2 minutes be.
Man can say 2 minutes, so busy mama crying.
Ah, you
2 minutes the other day.
Kwesi Sidjom?
Me that's it. Pacho. Masa me that's you, me that's it. Masa, one more me no edin komo akasa. One more trese. One more no registration exercise no one more koyo no. That's one more new nyansen chire obi ntin one more kasa o.
Thank you.
And that's one more do one more mindin one more kasa. Abiraba kwam ne kasa oyare or hypertension or diabetes. Science said these are the underlying conditions. One show who you are bewu. Abrewana someone catch him and say, "Sami Kokrokoo mi din na mnya yare ibia. December 7 beso nma wu. Enti din na me Kokrokoo dem fa so bia ni so mintu into aba. Enti Abrewana nya so ndo ni man, odo ni man. Nya so dream so ni nya sa che obi. Nambo obo ni ho ban se ne be ya. Dachi bi watumi ato oba eyi abapa. Etinya se abronti ana se on pese nyansafo beboa se ne be ya ye man ni betumpon. That's the reason. Most of them have underlying conditions. Almost slow yare and almost slow covered, no? And it is their right to fear to protect themselves. In much the same way, say it is their right to vote, you know. It is also their right and their duty to protect themselves from the disease so that they will not even infect others. That's what we but so that they will not infect others.
Kwesi, would you register?
Me?
Yeah. Because maybe saw the last time, I'll see you in Supreme Court. Supreme Court my judgment. To be register?
Oh, come in. Time no soon.
Okay.
Time no soon.
We'll leave it. Okay.
Masa, Mpacho, me. Sir, region be a register chain bibino. And yes, you have to abandon you as a contest in Beba. A bra register ni be read the now statistics ni be Pierre Bontin, a Hona San to Canada start. With the market on the wall.
Sorry, what we call register, one call register. Who should be blamed?
Say, maybe I assume who can say a man register, then it's an issue. You have the liberty. Go and register. When register, Robinson McCall register. Why should that be a problem?
Opening, any lecturer or Casano. What it is, some no kind. And you may be as I said, it must be transparent to say everybody has an equal chance.
Because in the process, then you have to lodge your complaint then.
Exactly. Process not being exhibition of voters register, a process maybe, and so on. In these processes, these are issues which are likely to come up. Now, under the guise of mobilizing and so on, create special conditions for their people in some of the registration centers. Sasanu nubi koba ebi echinye beba ebi antukona meka man kan ebi echinye beba echinye so hoyi e wo susanso. You understand what I'm saying? We should be careful say dia ye koyi e be na french room say dia be ye hu koba sam. We say about sam ye hu bi pen. Ye hu bi o mia bebre amama bebre so about ho sam a enkoye. Nti yenhwe ni ye. That's all.
That's it. Yencheni Nenye Emma Ghana Mine Kwesi Pratt Jr. Managing Editor Insight Deobo Krata, Dr. Kwame Asa Asante, Senior Political Science Lecturer at University of Ghana, Legon, and Simon Osem Mensah, Ashanti Regional Minister. And you found a pair of
Chairman, doctor, I'm so or Yakao. So you can some Indians or Becca. Challenger.
More like opening your counterpart. There be counterpart. The last one says, happy birthday to Blelby, Mr. Frederick Wisely, or is it Whistling? Frederick Ni Ai Ama from Ruth and the family with PGIS class of 85. Happy birthday also to Auntie Janet Ago Aqua in Atlanta, Georgia. It's from Sister Fiba and the family to you. Wishing you well. Grandma baby, thank you very much. I see you out there. You go out and have a beautiful day as well. Mrs. Rosemond Ama Bafwe, enjoy your birthday in advance from your husband and children and the entire family. Have a good weekend. Remember to always keep your dreams and hopes alive. It's all you've got. Taking a few days off next week. Nana Kessi will be here. Leaving you with my prayer for you in the book of Numbers in the Bible. Numbers 6:24-26, where it says very simply, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. I wish you peace. There's a tough word out there, you know. And so as always, when you stop to say a prayer, say one for me too. God bless. Good morning.